This has Rams fans fired up. Matthew Stafford recently disrespected in a new report, and Rams legend Jerome Bettis believes in the Rams, but believes they need to make one more move. All that and more on this episode of Rams Digest, and welcome back to another episode of Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Finehirsh. Before we get into today's episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you do not miss any daily new Rams Digest videos covering all things Rams. Turn that bell to all so you get notified whenever we post a new video every single day. And before we get into it, we are 4K. That is our goal, 4K by training camp. We're less than 300 away now, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. And before we get into it, like this video for a happy 4th of July. Wishing everybody a happy 4th. It is the 4th as I'm filming this today, so happy 4th to everybody. And comment down below your favorite tradition that you do on the 4th. I would like to know. And now we need to get into our main story of today. Matthew Stafford's Hall of Fame chances disrespected by a new article by Bill Barnwell, and Rams Wire has today's story, which we will get into right now. The Los Angeles Rams have a nice combination of veterans and young players. And while it's a little soon to be thinking Hall of Fame for any of them, two NFL analysts broke down the top options for the Rams and every NFC team. Alright, let's see what they have to say here. ESPN's Bill Barnwell recorded a podcast with The Athletic's Robert Mays, and the two agreed that Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford isn't necessarily a lock to make the Pro Football Hall of Fame with his current resume. While he ranks highly in statistical categories, the two believe Stafford's production is more of a result in the era he plays in, rather than his ability relative to other quarterbacks. Very, very interesting take, as we have the exact quote from Bill Barnwell to get into right now, as we get that going for you. Sorry about that. I feel like, to me, he is sort of the same case as to what I'm expecting Dak to be. Just with the Super Bowl ring, Barnwell said. I don't think he should get in, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I would be surprised if he didn't get it, ESPN writer Bill Barnwell. Bill Barnwell, you compared Matthew Stafford to Dak Prescott? Dak Prescott. And this is not me ranting on Dak, but Dak Prescott is nowhere near the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, but no, Dak Prescott's nowhere near though. Dak Prescott with a ring? Did you see the teams Matthew Stafford had to deal with in Detroit? That was not on him. Every year putting up great numbers on a team that didn't care about him. And now he's on a team that actually cares, and he's won a Super Bowl. Look at that. You put a decent team around him and he wins a Super Bowl, and he wins another playoff game. Like, come on. No. I'm not saying Matthew Stafford is 100% first ballot. No. I agree that he's not like, oh, you have to put him in first ballot. But to say Dak Prescott with a ring? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. And I say that Rams fans are fired up because that fires me up to watch Matthew Stafford this year just prove you wrong yet again and yet again and yet again. Like this video if you support Matthew Stafford. I mean, Dak Prescott with a ring? Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, the guy who consistently struggles in the playoffs. We're getting into Matthew Stafford's playoff numbers later and just how great they are, despite him having an okay playoff record. But I'm at a loss for words at this. I really am. I don't even know what to say. Dak Prescott with a ring. Terrible take. His take about Matthew Stafford not being a lock is not a bad take at all. It's the fact that you compared him to Dak Prescott with a ring. Again, Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. I really don't want this to sound like I'm just trying to perpetuate Dak Prescott hate, because I'm not. But he hasn't done anything. He's won. I know he beat the Bucs, but he won another playoff game before the Rams beat him on their way to the Super Bowl in 2018. But just no. I get Dak Prescott was an MVP finalist a couple years ago, but that was it. Every year he consistently disappoints in the playoffs, besides 2 games. Whereas Matthew Stafford, every playoff game, we feel like he has a chance to win. Matthew Stafford has just achieved more in his career. Again, Dak Prescott could be on a similar path in terms of touchdown numbers, passing numbers, but Prescott to me is more like a Phillip Rivers, where, again, great teams. And Phillip Rivers at least made an AFC Championship game. Again, Dak Prescott has not done anything to come even close to making the Hall of Fame yet. Please comment down below what you think of Matthew Stafford's Hall of Fame chances right now, because I can't believe you just compared him to Dak Prescott with a ring. However, the two did agree on 3 other Rams players who were a better track to make the Hall of Fame. Receivers Davante Adams and Puka Nacua, as well as second-year edge rusher Jared Verse. Davante Adams is in. Davante's in, not even close. He's in, done. Puka and Jared Verse, very early on in their careers, so yet to be determined on that. I won't give a yes or no on those just yet, just because we're very, very early on in those careers. Comment that down below as well. Do you think Davante Adams is already in, like I do, or does he have more work to do? And Puka Nacua and Jared Verse's Hall of Fame chances, if it's too early to tell, or what you think about that in general. Adams' claim is understandable, given his consistency at the position, and that he could also move up on some all-time lists. He should improve on his numbers even more with Stafford as his quarterback. Yes, definitely, I agree. Adams is in. He'll continue to climb up these lists for the next few seasons. As now we got to get into Matthew Stafford's stats. Right here, the bottom line is what we want to look at. These are the career stats. He has a 108, 113, and 1 record. Again, he has the Detroit years, so keep that in mind. A 63.4% completion percentage, which is a bit low. 59,809 yards, top 10 all time. 377 touchdowns compared to 188 interceptions. He has over 3,000 fantasy points as well. So Matthew Stafford right now is currently ranked 10th all-time in passing yards. And with 2,900 yards, not even 3,000 yards, which if he plays all 16 games, because again, the Rams may rest people in week 17, so if he plays 16 games, he'll easily get 2,900 yards. He'll move into 8th all-time in passing up the great Dan Marino and Matt Ryan. And he'll also join the 60K yard club as well. And he could move into the top 5 passing yards of all time if he plays another season. After this, he would need around 6,200 yards for that, because we'll see what Aaron Rodgers gets as well, who is still active, who has pretty much made it clear it is his final season. And again, if he plays 2 more seasons, he can move up. Right now, he's 10th all-time in TDs, and if he can move up to 8th this year if he gets 32, passing Matt Ryan and Ben Roethlisberger, and he could move into the top 6 on that as well if he plays 2 more seasons. He has a Super Bowl ring. He has 2 Pro Bowls, 2011 Comeback Player of the Year, 5-2 playoff record with the Rams as well. He has a 2 in the regular season, 2 touchdown interception ratio, which is really, really good as well, 2-1, which is exactly what you want to see. He has a 5-5 overall playoff record. Again, 3 of those losses come with the Lions, 5-2 playoff record with the Rams. In his playoff career, he has 2,966 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions in 10 games. Again, 2,900 yards in 10 games is really impressive. 19 touchdowns, nearly 2 touchdowns per game, and 6 interceptions, less than an interception per game. All what you want to see. 3.1 touchdown interception ratio in the playoffs, and a 102.3 rating. So again, I get Matthew Stafford isn't in the playoffs perennially year after year after year. But when he's in the playoffs, you feel like you have a chance to win. And he's proven that he is a good playoff performer. He's won a Super Bowl. That is not easy to do. And he put up decent numbers in that Super Bowl. Yes, he did throw an interception. All right. But again, interceptions are not necessarily a full quarterback stat. And that doesn't mean, yeah, if he threw 6 interceptions, that's a bad game. But obviously he did not. So Stafford does more to help your team win than a guy like Dak Prescott. Again, sorry. I mean, my God. I mean, that is a very, very bad take there. But Matthew Stafford, in my opinion, is a Hall of Famer right now. For sure. I don't know about a first ballot Hall of Famer. Again, comment that down below if you believe he's a first ballot Hall of Famer or not. I don't know for sure, but I do believe that he should be in the Hall within his first 5 chances. He 100% should be in the Hall of Fame right here, right now, as it stands. With the second ring, I think this argument's done that he's in. But right now, that ring, to me, solidified him in the Hall of Fame. That's what separates him from a guy like Phillip Rivers. Again, the Stafford versus Matt Ryan comp is interesting because Matt Ryan has the MVP, and he had a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. Sorry if any Falcons fans are watching this. I feel for you. I was heavily rooting for you to win that game. But again, that wasn't a loss. It's all on him. That was more of a full team loss. So we'll see how the Hall of Fame relates to that one. Again, the Stafford, Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers comps are all very interesting. So comment down below what you think about that as well. And now we have to get to our second story of the day that's going to fire you up. Rams legend, running back Jerome Bettis, NFL legend in general, made some comments about this year's team that should have Rams fans fired up. As we're going to get into that right now. This story brought to us by Rams Wire as well. As we're going to head on to that right now. The Los Angeles Rams enter the 2025 season with higher expectations than they've had in each of the last 2 years. With a reloaded roster and young talent all over the field, they have the makings of a Super Bowl contender. Yes, they do. I believe the Rams are the second best team in the NFC right now, behind the Eagles. And comment that down below where you think they rank in the NFC and Super Bowl contenders. I have them as 4th right now behind the Chiefs, Bills, and Eagles. And I have them right up there with teams like the Ravens and the Lions for Super Bowl contenders. So comment that down below what you think of that list. My top 5 Super Bowl contenders. Number 5, got the Lions. Bills, sorry, no, I got the Bills ahead of the Lions. Bills at 5. Rams 4. No, sorry, I keep on mispronouncing I'm changing my list. I know. I'm changing my list a lot. It's pretty difficult. Number 5, you got the Lions. 4, you got the Rams. 3, you got the Bills. 2, you got the Chiefs. And at number 1, you got the Eagles. So comment down below what you think of that list. That is my final list there for you right there. Hall of Fame running back Jerome Bettis thinks especially highly of this Rams team, viewing them as a bit of a dark horse for 2025. I don't really think they're a dark horse, but I see what he means, that they're not the trendy pick to make the Super Bowl, but he wouldn't be surprised. So I do understand that dark horse methodology right there. The primary reason for Bettis' optimism is Matthew Stafford calling him a great quarterback. He also loves the receiving core and the Rams' run game, both of which elicit confidence from fans and analysts. Yes, huge fan of the offense. The offense is definitely Super Bowl caliber. I believe could be the best offense alongside, teams like the Commanders, the Lions, the Ravens, the Eagles, teams like that, the Chiefs. I'm not counting out the Chiefs. I know a lot of people are. I'm not. And the Bengals as well for best offenses in football. So we will see how that goes. We actually have a little quote from Jerome Bettis to get into right now as well. It's hard to say how good they can be because you're not really sure, Bettis told DJ Siddiqui of RB.org. They've retooled offensively. They should be really good. If the offensive line holds up, I think they've got a chance to be really good, and that is from Jerome Bettis. Yeah, I agree. The offensive line already does have some concerns with Larry Jackson having those blood clots. We still don't have a time frame on his return just yet. So that is definitely something to keep an eye on for this Rams team. But the rest of the O-line looks great. You have 3 running backs you like in Kyren Williams, Blake Corum, and Jarquez Hunter. And you also have those 3 receivers. You got Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. You got Tutu Atwell, Jordan Whittington, who I'm really high on. I did a video about that around a week ago, so make sure to go watch that one after this one. And again, a guy like Konona Mumpfield seems to be making some waves in training camp. And the special teams unit with Joshua Cardi and Ethan Evans. They just have a really complete roster that definitely has a chance to compete for the Super Bowl. But Bettis thinks they're one piece away from being really, really special. He believes that they can add a cornerback or impact defensive back, they can take the next step, as we have a next quote from Bettis right now. They've got a great quarterback, Bettis said. They've got some really, really outstanding receivers. The running game is going to be solid. They're maybe a cornerback away, an impact secondary guy away from being really, really special. When you've got a really good coach and a good quarterback, you're going to be in the conversation. So yes, the Rams will be a really good football team this year from Jerome Bettis. I agree. The quarterback-coach duo, in my opinion, is right up there with Reed and Mahomes. If you want to talk about coach and quarterback duos, again, McVay, in my opinion, is the best coach in the NFL. Yes, I'm taking him over Andy Reid. Comment that down below as well, McVay or Andy Reid, because I think it's very, very close. Yeah, I do agree that they need to make a move in the cornerback room somehow against Stephon Gilmore. Could be that guy. And then, again, Rasul Douglas is someone else who I've covered on this channel a little over a month ago. So if you missed that one, go back and watch that after this. But someone like that, someone who they can rely on and be, okay, this is a guy who's been in the playoffs before, who can help us really take that next step as a unit. The Rams ranked 14th in the NFL in takeaways last season, intercepting 13 passes and recovering 7 fumbles. They often capitalize on those by takeaways, by returning 3 of them for touchdowns, but Bettis feels like they need someone who can create big plays on defense. Yes, like we just heard, that is exactly what Jerome Bettis is saying, and I agree. I do think we need that cornerback where it's like, that's our guy. Like Rasul Douglas, in my opinion, would be a really good signing. A couple years younger than Gilmore. He's been in the playoffs now with the Packers and the Bills, so he has all that experience in the making for the Rams. And comment down below who you think that can be, whether it's Rasul Douglas, Gilmore, or it's a guy like Josh covered yesterday and Jalen Phillips, a guy who's from out here on the defensive pass rush. So comment that down below right now. And that is all for this episode of Rams Digest. Thank you very much for tuning into this episode. Remember, comment down below your thoughts on Matthew Stafford's Hall of Fame chances and if he's just Dak Prescott with a ring. That makes me laugh every time I say it as well. Comment down below your thoughts on the Stafford, Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers comparison. Who you think is better? Who gets into the Hall of Fame there? Comment down below on Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua's chances at the Hall, as well as Jared Verse. And also, comment down below your thoughts on Jerome Bettis saying the team needs to add an impact corner, whether that's Rasul Douglas, Stephon Gilmore, or someone else. Like this video for the Rams being competitive next year as well for 4th of July. I've been your host, Joshua Finehirsh. Thank you very much for tuning into this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, I'll see you soon for another one. Have a great 4th of July weekend, and I'll see you soon for another episode of Rams Digest.